This looks like a job for Superman.
Welcome to Super Pals. I'm Jared. I'm here with Robert. What's up, man?
I'm feeling, I can't think of anything to say for this
War. What is it good
one.
for?
Absolutely nothing.
So we are discussing Superman, Our World's at War. One of, if not the most epic Superman crossovers. It turned into a crossover ever.
Yep, originally wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, so in this storyline, hey, what's up, Cameron? So in this storyline, essentially, DC's Galactus shows up.
Imperiex, yeah.
It was such a great idea for a villain. And it's essentially, he's coming to destroy the Earth, so naturally, it's all hands on deck for all the superheroes.
And we have so many things, like we have Darkseid showing up. We have Brainiac is working on Lena Luthor, who was given to him as a baby, Lex gave to him as a baby, and Lena got aged up. You have the Russian Zod.
Well, let's not forget, Robert. Darkseid does not just show up; he teams up with the heroes.
Yep.
It's one of those occasions where it's more of.
Now remember, this is not the Darkseid. This is the Darkseid when he was more of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, remember, this is before they were all consolidating into one Darkseid.
Exactly.
Isn't this also the one that would end up having a little bit of Diana's soul in him?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why he's always so like that's the biggest like FU that Diana ever gave to Darkseid, if she ever gave people FUs, but still.
Yep, but we have to remember this though. The opening volley, Kansas was wiped out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, so how do we open up this epic war? Oh yeah, Kansas gets blown up.
Yep. Now we find out that Mom and Pa are fine, but we don't know that for a while. In fact, Pa doesn't show up again until 175.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And it's like this whole story essentially just goes. Story starts, escalation.
Yep.
Like it like insanely blows up, and this is
and these Imperiex, they're just drones, and when they blow, not only are they already uber dangerous, when they get destroyed, they blow up.
Yeah, and Diana learns that the hard way, where what happens is, so in the Wonder Woman tie-in, well, actually pre-Wonder Woman tie-in, because it's happened before, Wonder Woman and Aquaman and a few other heroes are fighting the Imperiex drones, and then Wonder Woman pierces it, and then it blows up, and she is severely wounded. Aquaman is killed. Yes, this is when post-crisis Aquaman died and would stay dead.
He would come back again later, but yeah.
No, but he would stay dead until, I think, Blackest Night, right? No.
He actually came back earlier. You're thinking about after he got turned into a beast. Because remember, we still need the whole water hand. This is what leads into the water hand.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
So no, he was just dead very temporary. Same with Guy Gardner, very temporarily.
Yeah, exactly. So then what you get is
basically the only person who stayed dead was Hippolyta up until Amazon's attack.
Yeah. That's what happens after this. Hippolyta goes after the Imperiex thing, and she ends up getting killed. And this is that famous image that Britt and I have shown on Super Wonder of Clark holding Diana's body and saying, "You need to help her."
Well, that was earlier, yeah, but then
it comes from this storyline and stuff.
Yep.
This is also, here's an interesting fact for you all, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last appearance in post-crisis of Lex Luthor's daughter.
Yep, Lena Luthor.
Until Joshua Williamson brought her back in his Superman run that's going on right now.
Yep, in fact, first she got aged up by Brainiac into a teenager. And then by the end of it all, she's back to being a baby and given back to Lex.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that was the last we saw her.
Yeah, and then and originally, if I remember correctly, it was like people thought that like she was out of existence.
Well, she was. Technically, Infinite Crisis did technically retcon her out.
And then it was like, nope, she's back.
Yep. Oh,
And
yeah,
she's
but here's the death of Hippolyta.
What a heart-wrenching scene. And again, drawn by Phil Jimenez.
And let's be honest, she's not, Wonder Woman wasn't the only one to lose a parent.
Oh, yeah.
Lois dead.
Oh, yeah, Lois did. This is when Sam Lane died. And I think he stayed dead until Flashpoint, right?
No, he stayed dead until New Krypton.
Okay, and then, yeah, okay.
Now, I do love it. Even the bit with Lex reconciling her with her. Then, like, I love this. I'm sure he would have, unless something insurmountable was in his way. He would do anything for you. But sometimes you find yourself caught up in circumstances where you can't follow your heart, even when you want to. Duty sometimes comes first. Duty to country, to work, to honor. What your father just did. And then, of course, this is the point where Superman finally, he sees Lois like banging on the wall and everything because she's so upset. He finally says, tell me what you want to do, Mr. President. Whatever it takes to win this, I'm yours.
And what isn't this also what results in Superman having the black of the in the S?
Yes,
as like a memorial for those people that died in the war.
Yep, I'll be honest. I think Lex is sincere here.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing about Lex. Eventually, if it gets to you'll blow up the planet. Lex will go like, okay, you know what? Let's work together. But it's like even I think it was in DC where he goes, look at what they did to our city.
Yep. Oh, this is when we got Strange Visitor, who was Kismet in a humanoid form.
But Somar says so many questions. So when you feel is Supes in the comics done the same way is he done in animation since the 90s? I mean, trash? No, he's not done it. Here's the thing: in animation, let me put it this way, Superman the animated series is actually one of the best animated takes on Superman. I'm not going to say it's trash.
Yeah. Why would you ask if it was trash? Superman in the 90s. Let me put it this way: DC was telling better stories than Marvel in the 80s and 90s. Well, more than 90s.
Stomar says, heard since the 80s that John Byrne in Christ on Infinite Earths made him ruin. That John Byrne was not involved in Christ on Infinite Earths.
No, he cannot. Okay, can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Okay, first of all, when it comes to Crisis and the post-Crisis Superman, most of the stuff Byrne did was under orders. If he was more than willing to do a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jeanette Kahn, Mark Wolfman, and Steve Gerber who gave the orders to change it drastically.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like he just came in and said, I'm just going to change all this.
Yeah. Now, granted, he did come up with his own. Here's the other thing is, he was given a pitch because originally Marvel was going to get DC.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that, right?
Yeah, exactly. But Somar brings up that in the 90s, he was a whim. Okay, here's why. Because in that, they were trying to figure out a way to challenge Superman. So they kind of, depowered him a little bit. Like he could get like electrocuted or stuff. But I got that.
Yeah, but it's like they kind of had to, otherwise he'd be a godsu.
Comics in the 80s for Superman, I would say are mostly good.
Mostly good, and that before the 80s and after the 80s, good.
There's a lot of good Superman comics. There's also a lot of bad ones, but there's mostly good ones, I would say.
I would say it's 90% good throughout the 80s and 90s.
I would say 80% in my opinion, but still, still like most of them are good.
Oh, yeah, but here's Strange Visitor sacrificing herself for Superman to fly in, and Maxima sacrificed herself.
Yeah, this is like one of the heroic things that Maxima did.
No, this was her head. This was her death, dude.
Mm-hmm. Somar says he didn't know how to dodge. He's dodged plenty of times in the cartoon. It's not a problem.
Okay? that sounds like a Dragon Ball Z damage. That sounds like a Dragon Ball Z abridged joke.
Yeah, but anyway.
Okay, Superman should not be a godsu.
No, he shouldn't, because then there's no challenge to Superman.
And people find him boring.
Yeah, exactly. It's like with this, I always say, like, you can give Superman villains he can't punch. This one he can punch because he's dealing with basically, for lack of a better term, a god.
Yep, and and also I get like he lacks common sense. He don't know how to dodge. How does he know what to dodge when he doesn't even know what attacks are coming?
Yeah, if he first meets this villain, of course he's not going to be able to know to dodge.
Exactly. It's gonna be a case of like it's just like, okay, what's up? He gets hit by kryptonite. Ah! What? Because yeah, he sees Metallo. He sees him as a robot. He's not gonna think he's gonna shoot kryptonite out of his chest.
Yeah, and obviously when he sees the villain later, he's like, okay, now I can dodge this guy.
Same with Lobo. He's not gonna be like, how strong is this guy? Like, yeah, he's gonna be pretty strong. He doesn't expect that Lobo's gonna send him 3-0 flying.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so for this, the other thing that I really like about this, again, is how many major heroes died. Like, this is how you immediately show stakes and like, oh no.
Steel died even briefly.
Yeah, exactly. Steel died briefly. It's like, when you go through it, there is like a ridiculous amount of like, it's called writing a compelling Superman story. And that sometimes can be hard.
Got killed.
Yeah, but by the way, Cameron says, has Imperiex shown up in other media, or is this his first time? This is his first appearance.
No, well, it's first appearance, but he has shown up in the Legion of Superheroes cartoon.
Yeah, by the way, Imperiex would have been a better representation instead of the Anti-Monitor in the Green Lantern animated series. They used Imperiex instead of Anti-Monitor.
True, and I kind of get why they went with it.
Yeah, it's like, let me put it this way. While I may not have liked that version of the Anti-Monitor, it's like, okay, for that universe, it made sense. I'm not gonna go crazy on that.
Yep, I guess there's a delay on StreamYard seeing the chat.
Yeah. That's why I have YouTube pulled up. My Solar says, in that case, that's gonna be boring because I'm complaining about it. Obviously, his animation before 90 is good. All of his animations are good, but anyway.
Yeah, even to be fair, he didn't have that many animations. You had the Fletcher animation, and then you had the Ruby Spears animation, and you had Super Friends.
Yeah, exactly. Cameron says, "Oh, I meant to say one time. Like, is comic his only appearance?"
Yes.
Oh yeah, he hasn't shown up outside of this, right?
No, because why would you need to? He was dealt with.
That's true. Exactly. I'm like, and not even post Flashpoint or anything like that. Oh yeah, that's right.
Because here's why. It turns out he was his own reason for being. He was like, I'm trying to figure out what is this imperfection in the universe. And he realized, because he was sent to the dawn of time with Brainiac 13 before it blew the Big Bang, he realized it was me. I was the imperfection.
It was me, Barry, all along. I had to. But yeah, it's like, I also like Superman and Lex's relationship, to your point, what you mentioned earlier, where eventually Superman is desperate enough where he goes, okay, whatever you need me to do, Lex, I'll do it. Let's save our world. And
Superman keeps on teetering on the on killing.
Here's the thing about Superman. There's a line that we've debated on whether or not Superman has a no-kill rule. I mean, Robert and I haven't, but I mean in like
no murder,
exactly. If you push Superman, like if you make it so, if Superman is like an animal trapped in a corner, and that corner being if you threaten the earth, if you make it very tough for Superman, God help you, my friend.
Exactly.
It's like he starts having the red eyes from like a Jim Lee playing a Superman.
That's where it got annoying though, when it was like, oh, it used to be when you saw those angry eyes, it was like wrath of God. Eventually, they did so many times where you're like, "Oh, Clark, did you stub your toe?"
Yeah, exactly.
Would you agree with that? Would you agree? It kind of got that overused.
Oh yeah, he reused it up a yin yang, dude.
It wasn't just Jim Lee; it was others. Now, okay, I gotta say, it was Marion. What is he like about him being competent? What I want to know what you define as incompetent.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so continuing on with this book, one of the other things that I really dig about it is it's very rare that we get a straight up Superman war story.
Yep. Well, here's
like,
the other thing.
This is an actual war, ladies and gents.
Yep. And here's the other thing. Even by the end, when the Imperiex is dealt with at the 3/4 mark, it's at Brainiac 13.
Yeah, exactly. So when you think you're done, it's like, just when I think I'm out, they drag me back in.
Exactly. Yeah. Brainiac 13 is then ready to make his move.
And then somewhere says, he's not saying it's boring. Okay, I think that the thing is, he says, dude, you've seen his animation before the 90s. A lot of fun. The 90s one feels like a hateful parody. Okay, how? Oh, yes. The other thing, I get whenever I see an Amazon say Amazon's attack, I'm like, oh no. That has been tainted, my good friend. Tainted, I say.
Yeah, and again, I don't get what what does he mean by a hateful
Ignore
parody?
it. But yeah, so as for like, yeah, so this is one of the storylines that I always hold up and say, because yes, granted, let me put it this way, post-crisis Superman has less of my favorite Superman stories. Well, actually, no, I can't say that because a lot of my favorite Superman stories are post-crisis. Let me put it this way. If I were to have a top 5 list of post-crisis Superman stories, Our World's at War is going in the top 3.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And here's this. Superman, this is where it points out. Superman going into the sun so he can push a planet. Making it clear. He's not OP like pre-crisis where he can just push a planet with ease. No. He needs to go into the center of the sun and nearly loses humanity to do it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that I love about this is, so one of the positions that Superman always inherits in the world is the leader of the superheroes. This story 100% like puts that in there. Everyone goes off of what Superman says to a degree.
Exactly. Oh yeah, here's where he brings back baby Lena.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, that's the last we ever saw her.
But I love this cover by Adam Hughes of him holding Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
It's always so well done. It's like he's holding his best friend in there. And I love where he's holding Diana. He rushed her back to the ship as Lois is yelling in his ear. And he goes, not Diana, not Diana, not Diana. Like he's like, I'm not going to lose her.
Exactly. Now, now, I know some could say, oh, he stayed with Diana after losing her mom rather than save Lois's dad. I do things like Lex said. There's just too much going on. He wasn't able to pick up everything to know what was going on until it was too late.
Yeah, like this way. He was rushing Diana. He was triaging. He was rushing Diana because he has super speed to a medical ship. And then he left her with Hippolyta and then went back to the battle. It's not like he just stayed there.
Well, no, I'm talking about when Hippolyta died. That's when Sam Lane died.
Well, it's not necessarily like he loves Diana more than Lois.
Oh, I know. I'm making that clear. As well. I'm just saying that anyone who thinks that, it's like, no. It's because, like Lex said, he had too much going on.
Yeah, it's like when you're dealing with a war and stuff, it's like, yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes and stuff.
Exactly. As it shows right here, Hippolyta's death. Mm-hmm. Superman is, trying to help, everything else going on, dealing with these Imperiex. And right at the same moment that Hippolyta died is when Sam Lane died.
Yeah, exactly.
Along with supposedly, Sergeant Rock.
Wasn't Lois at first upset that Superman was not there?
Oh, yeah. For a brief moment, that's when Lex talked to her.
And that's justifiable. I'm not going, and again, it says a lot for me to say Lois is justified.
Yeah, because again, and then right after that, he doesn't lose a strange visitor who, I remind you, is not only Kismet, but also Sharon, one of his longest friends, like from childhood.
Yeah,
she sacrificed herself, and it was for nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So again, Superman has every right to just have so much taken away from him. Again, his parents are supposedly dead.
As far as he knows, well, let me put it this way. The place where he grew up, a place where if you're going off of the Superman is what I can do, Clark Kent is who I am, his home just blew up again.
Exactly, right here.
Yeah, consider it like this. This man escaped Krypton because his planet was going to escape Krypton, comes to Earth, and then his home on Earth blew up.
Exactly. He may still have Earth.
He may still have the planet, but the home that he lives in blew up.
Yep. And again, and that you have just so many other things just going on. Oh, they even leave a little statue for Strange Visitor in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, they really pulled out all the stuff, and this was the send-off for the triangle number.
Yeah. So explain that, Robert.
Okay. The triangle number had lasted ever since the late 80s.
First, explain what the triangle numbers were.
okay. Each issue would be leading into the next. So you would need the triangle number to tell you what order to be reading it in.
So it's kind of like, so you know which issue of Action Comics, Superman, Adventures of Superman to pick up in which order.
Exactly. That way you're not just relying on release order.
And like weird reading orders that could be wrong and stuff like that. That was actually really genius of DC to do that.
And it lasted. Even when Carlin left and Eddie Berganza took over, they kept it going. But Loeb, Casey, and Kelly were fed up.
Yeah, because ultimately, here's the problem with doing that. It limits what your creatives can do. And yes, if you have creators that are buying into the idea of them all telling one story, like, let me put it this way, that's why Carlin had those super summits where they decided to kill Superman, because like they needed to be in sync on what's going, because they're all telling one story.
And while you have people like Jurgens and Simonson and all that who were loving doing it,
yeah,
we also have people like David Michelini who left because he was a bit fed up with it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an interesting little idea there.
So they chose to end it with a bang.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other reason why we're covering this story is because last week we covered the comic book storyline,
Panic in the Sky.
Panic in the Sky. And this is essentially the spiritual sequel to it.
Yeah, they never mentioned Panic in the Sky, but you don't need to. It's a big war going on. It involves Superman, and Brainiac is involved.
Yeah,
and War
exactly.
World, and War World, and Maxima to a lesser degree.
Mm-hmm.
So you needed it.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one had more impact than Panic in the Sky did.
Oh, of course, because Panic in the Sky always was like, okay, now Maxima's on the Justice League.
Yep, and
Gaga's dead.
Exactly. The most, because that was just done as an event in the Superman books. This one started that way. In fact, they were building up to it, but then they decided, you know what, this is going to affect the whole world. Let's make an event out of this and tie it in with other books.
Yeah, it's basic. It's basically one of those occasions where an event starts off small and then just says, just throw everyone in there.
Yep, I got some of the inkers. I got Ed McGuinness, Todd Nowick, Phil Jimenez.
You bastard.
Yep, Carlo Barberi, who did some of the other artwork. But believe it or not, though, this does not contain everything.
Really?
No, it only contains the main Superman books, a few of the JLA tie-in, and one issue of the Supergirl tie-ins, the Wonder Woman tie-ins, and the Teen Titan stuff. There's some other tie-ins that are not in this.
Yeah, mine has Our Worlds at War, the Superman event, so the main event, JLA Our Worlds at War, the one-shot, and the Special Art of War section. Then over here it has, in Volume 2, the Wonder Woman, Young Justice, and Impulse ones, and obviously the World's Finest, actually Our Worlds at War, and then the actual event.
It's the same thing. That this is just putting both of those trades into one.
So I take it the omnibus that recently came out would have everything.
Yes, that has everything. More than what's in this.
Oh
but
God.
I'm happy with this.
Yeah, me too. It's like I like the basic story enough, and I got these because my comic book store had a segment that's like all of like that, all these were like half off. So I was like, oh, okay. But
No.
Is Transformers more powerful than mainline Superman? Okay, so explain Strange Visitor's powers. Robert.
Strange Visitor is basically a nerfed Kismet from who kids. Now make this clear. Despite what Marvel JLA Avengers had implied, Kismet is not the DC equivalent of Eternity.
Okay, that makes sense.
Despite what everyone, including Grant Morrison, keeps thinking, she's not. She may be the closest thing DC has to it, but she's just a powerful deity, goddess being, and she was condensed into this young girl named Sharon Vanders, I believe, and basically, yes, she was very powerful, but she never knew what her full power was because she had amnesia.
That makes sense.
So potentially, she could have been more powerful than Superman, but we never would have known.
Okay, that's interesting. I appreciate that. Yeah,
yep.
She apparently is a fan of Electric Blue Superman.
No, he gave her his old suit to keep her alive.
Oh, essentially a container.
Yep, and then eventually they gave that suit to Livewire.
Yeah, I know. That was cool. I like that one.
But yeah, again, overall, this story.
Overall, I rate this storyline a solid 8.5 to 9.
Yeah, it is above Panic in the Sky.
It is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like really good. And now we'll go to a general Q&A. But yeah,
Now, if there's one downside with it, that a lot of most of the deaths were reversed pretty fast.
At the time, let me put it this way: if you take it as an independent story, 8.5 to 9 out of 10, like it's perfect.
Oh, I would agree, but I'm just saying that's one of the downsides is that majority of the deaths all of the deaths have been undone.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and it's like all of the disappeared characters has been undone pretty much.
Yeah, except for Strange Visitor. She's the only one who has never come back, but really, they didn't need her to come back.
Yeah, exactly. So any questions that you guys would like to ask us about Superman? But in the meantime, so Robert, I was thinking we should cover the Elseworlds book that's the Son of Superman.
Oh!
That's got to be next week's episode, man. The first John Kent.
Yep, and how lousy it ended.
Oh my gosh, to give you guys an idea of how the story ended, let's just say that Batman runs for the Democratic Party, Wonder Woman is sent back to her island, Martian Manhunter is deported back to Mars, where he's the only person there.
How do you deport someone when you're the only person living there?
Yeah, Milo asked, do you think we'll get Strange Visitor in the DCU? Honestly, if there's one character that I could see Gunn Ice referencing, Strange Visitor, yeah.
Maybe. I highly doubt. She's obscure even by my standards.
Cameron says, how would you bring Imperiex into the main universe? In other words, now if you could.
I would set up as a legend and everything, keep it small, but keep it to be like this dreaded hush thing. You know, like, even if you show the new god, they fear Imperiex.
Yeah, and what you could do, you could make it where planets are vanishing in the galaxy, like random planets. Obviously, not any planets we care about. I know that sounds horrible, but you know what I'm saying.
Nope.
And the Justice League sends a space team out to investigate, and then it's Imperiex.
You know what? You know, it's planet we could sacrifice.
Who?
If we do the Teen Titans, Starfires.
Tamarin? Oh.
That would be perfect, because that's definitely a sacrificial lamb of a planet.
Yeah.
Always has been.
That is true. That would work.
We already know that they're going with the Wolfman Titans for the upcoming movie.
And that could be why like she leaves the Titans in the comics now, because like she has to go rebuild her planet.
If we go by the comics, I'm just going by the movies.
Yeah, and I'm like, that actually could work. That actually be really fun.
Yeah, in the movies. In the comics, well, Imperiex is definitively dealt with.
Yeah, you can't do that. Or you could do it. Here's what you do. Imperiex just attacks. Oh, here's what you do.
What?
Let me pitch you a story, Robert. So Darkseid is tired of losing. Let's assume he loses KO, which I think that's a safe assumption, correct?
Yep.
So he decides, I need to unleash a super weapon. He resurrects Imperiex, but Imperiex turns on him.
Ooh.
So he has to go, okay, guys, heroes, I know you just kicked my ass. Can you come help me with this guy?
And Imperiex, what if Imperiex takes most of his power of the combined Darkseid?
Yeah, exactly. And you can make it where if Apocalypse is important to the balance of the multiverse, if you blow up Apocalypse, the whole thing goes under.
Kind of like if the Elseworld goes, because the Elseworld is, remember, the Elseworld, the Absolute Universe, is now the center of the DC Universe, remember?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you could do that, and that way the League has to team up with Darkseid and actually protect Apocalypse.
You know what, I'll be honest, I bet you they're going to drop that part that they set up. You want to bet they are?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because they always do that, where they have it. Because how many times was Oa supposed to be the center of the universe?
Then they said Earth was in the center of the multiverse.
Yeah. I bet you they'll go back to make the main Earth the center of the multiverse.
And claim it was a lie again.
Yeah, they'll claim it. That's what we thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't.
Or it was, the Elseworld was the center until Darkseid altered it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But you know what? At the same time, though, keeping it the center also means that they have an in-universe reason to keep it going.
That is very true. It's like they can't just like blow it up.
Exactly.
That'd be interesting. You could do that, as a matter of fact.
Yep. But
yeah, so what other Superman related questions do you have? Okay, Cameron says, okay, hear me out. If you guys could bring back, oh yeah, we already did that. All right, but
we already answered that.
Yeah. Any questions you guys, or any Superman topics that you guys would like us to cover on the future of the show?
You know what? One matchup I'm getting, Superman versus. It's not out yet.
Actually, it is.
I haven't read it yet, dude.
Oh yeah, I haven't either, but it is out. It's called DCKO Boss Battle.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not officially like out for distribution. You know, everyone getting it.
Yes, it is.
Most stores wait until Wednesday.
Well, officially, yeah, but
that's what I meant. I meant.
Okay, I understand that. That makes sense.
Can I tell you one matchup with Superman I'm getting a little tired of, and it's not Doomsday.
What?
Lobo.
Yeah, I get it. They're trying to push Lobo. I think that's also because of the movie.
Well, I mean, in general, like we had the Black Label book and everything. You know, I feel like they've made Lobo more the overused guy to main man to beat someone up.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those occasions where like they push a character, I guess. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Hey, what's up, Tevia?
Hey, Tevia.
But yeah, it's like when it comes down to it, it's like there are always those characters that I think, I do agree they definitely like over push it, because it's like, I get it. Because Lobo is pretty important, but it's like, well, not pretty important, but it's like he's an interesting character with DC. But it's like,
I just want to use him just for a fight, because that's all he's good for.
So do you think he's like the modern Harley Quinn in that way?
I won't go that far.
Yeah, but hey, what's up, NJ? Joelle Jones is obsessed with Lobo, sadly. Well, because she has said that she's a big fan of the 90s era of comics, so that explains it.
And would you say she's obsessed when she was assigned that pairing for Death?
Well, no. It's like the way that she had it play out. I understand that, like, maybe she didn't necessarily get to pick that, but it's like, let me put it this way. Here's the thing. Lobo should not have won any of those matches that they did.
And yet there's some matches, and all the issues had someone match without it being a curve. Even Harley at least got one match win.
There should have been one that was like a curb stomp. If it had been Wonder Woman, I'd be like, okay, fine, I get it.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, Lobo makes more sense than Harley getting a victory against Zatanna.
Oh, yeah.
That's what my point is. Lobo makes some sense.
Cameron says, I think a great topic for an episode could be, does Superman work as a mentor? Because there's an idea that he shouldn't have a sidekick.
Yeah, you know what? It goes right back. It's right up there with Batman Beyond. You cannot replace him. And as a mentor, he's good at inspiring. Having someone tag along with him.
Let me put it this way. He technically had a mentor. His name is Connor. I mean, a protege. It's Connor.
It's Connor, but even Connor, he kept at a distance.
We can talk about that. That's actually a great idea for a topic. We'll put that on the list for maybe 2 weeks from now. That's a good idea.
But I mean what I say about that. He kept him at a distance for the most part.
Yeah, and it's even with John, but it's like, what I mean by that is like, it's like, if Superman's mentoring someone, it can't be that like eventually that mentor takes over as the main role. That doesn't work.
Well, there's that, but I also feel like most of the time Superman's a hands-off mentor, more letting his actions inspire them rather than be the, again, Batman, like having a Robin do his Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Cameron says Diana works as a mentor. Yes, Diana works. Well, like this way, there may not be enough stories of Diana being used as a mentor, but she is a character that I think is built to be a mentor in some ways.
Yeah. Now, like I said, of the Trinity, Superman's the one least likely to be a direct mentor.
Yeah, it obviously goes Batman, Wonder Woman, and then Superman.
Yeah, exactly. Because Diana is also under upbringings as well.
Yeah, and with Batman, he has like 5 Robins, or he's had 5 Robins.
And he wants a family. More. And he wants a family.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm like, yeah.
Wait. Crotch is in the Starfire series?
Wait. Where?
According to Tevia, Starfire crushes are going to be in the Starfire series.
Where is that said?
I am looking it up right now. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Crush is going to be in there as well as Amethyst.
That's cool. I like that. Right, Tevia says, do you think Hal Jordan works as a mentor?
In a different way, in a different type of mentor.
You know who does work as a mentor? Jessica Cruz. You know how I know? Simon was her sidekick. I have to say, I have to.
Okay, but I say he's a different type of mentoring. He's more of a soldier training the recruit type of mentoring.
Well, yeah, it's like, remember when Simon and Jessica were constantly arguing in their Rebirth series? So Hal just said, okay, stop. He merges their batteries together and says, okay, I'm making it so you can't charge your rings unless you're in the same area.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I really, that's Hal Jordan's like mentoring / parenting style, if I have to like estimate one. Also, who is Rob?
Oh, that was Tim. Well,
Tim Drake.
That was Tim Drake in the main comic. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In the Kingdom, in the Elseworlds, it was Dick Grayson.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, though, I'm sorry, just finding out Crush is going to be in the Starfire series. I'm like, that's good.
That actually works.
And apparently Josie Campbell's working on that series too.
Oh, interesting.
It's just not part of the My Adventures.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm like, can we get other stuff? But okay, if they're actually going to do that, okay, cool.
Yep.
I'm just waiting to see what they do with Green Lantern because, again, Robert, you know how much of a Jessica Cruz fan I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, don't disappoint me.
Yep. But yeah.
What other questions do you guys have in terms of like Superman questions? Any Superman questions you want to ask?
Yeah, go right ahead.
But yeah, so I actually have a question for you, Robert. It's more of a would you rather question.
Oh boy.
Would you rather have to be stuck in a desert island only with the Rucka Lois book?
Or you gotta give me an alternative, dude.
Be stuck on a desert island with Amazon's Attack.
Give me Amazon's Attack.
Is that bad with the Lois book for you?
I'll tell you this. It's I get some enjoyment out of Amazon's Attack.
Yeah, that's good. Someone says, you think Jessica Cruz could be different if you use the first name because Jessica Jones exists? Who cares?
Two different companies.
Yeah, who cares? Would you rather be trapped on an island with he must not be named Superman Heroes in Crisis? Oh God, that's a good one. Oh, that's a great one, Tevia. I would have to go with Heroes in Crisis. Actually, you know what? B&B Superman. I gotta go
B&B Superman because there's more to go off of.
And even the worst of B&B Superman never upset me more than Heroes in Crisis.
I'd argue that part, but
it's me, Robert. But yeah,
I know you're the type who's like, ooh, like, yeah, if Lois is getting treated.
Hey, Lois doxes the superhuman community. All right. That's a good one. Now, if I had to pick between TK's Wonder Woman and B&B Superman, I'm gonna go B&B Superman.
Oof. I'm gonna go Tom King's Wonder Woman.
Well, I know you because you're more of a super. See, that's the cool funny thing about Robert. Tevia is, Robert is more of a Superman fan. I'm more of a Wonder Woman fan. So, in our opinions of which one's worse, we switch.
Although, I would say this: give me B&B's Superman over the CRL era of Superman.
I'll give you that. What do you think, Robert, is the worst era of Superman?
CRL.
Okay,
because it was boring. It was one of the most boring eras.
I'll give you that. And with
even on the Superman homepage, they kept giving it ones.
For those that don't know, if a story is boring, that is worse to Robert than a story being bad.
Yeah, because at least being so bad is entertaining. I can still read through it. Being so bad, it's boring.
And it's not even it's so bad it's good. It's just bad.
Yeah, it is just bad. Because for me,
Tevye wants to know who CRL is.
CRL was the daughter of Superman and Lois from an alternate future, but it turns out there was so many other confusing stuff going on.
Confusing things. That's just comics.
Yeah, but here, trust me, it led into a really confusing storyline, and then ended up it being the whole point it was done was so they could have an excuse to retcon Birthright into being the new backstory.
Just say it's the new backstory. What are you talking about?
They have to
retcon it.
They had to come with a way to have it be history changed because of these time storms. But it also led to us having Majestic show up for a while, which was good. But the guys who were involved with it didn't write it.
Yeah, exactly. And then Tevye says, "Yeah, now I remember. Wasn't she made by Brainiac?"
No.
Okay. Yeah, but it's what was one of my favorite Superman stories? The Jeff Johns story with Christopher Kent.
Yep.
Where he first showed up, and then Superman's like, "Oh, he's a Kryptonian and stuff," and then Chris Kent sacrificed himself to take out Zod. I like that one.
Yep. And that Zero was part of the reason why Peter David's Supergirl was dropped.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
That's the other reason.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Because that run is one of the best Supergirl runs ever.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. Wow. It sounds like something the DC would do, but wow. Somar says, "You've seen All-Star Superman animation movie. It's not worse than the comic. I liked All-Star Super. I liked it. My one problem with the animated movie is that they took out the 'you are so much stronger than you think you are' moment, because that's like one of the most iconic parts of that book.
It does have one moment that's superior to the book that even Morrison himself has said,
which is
it was having Lex actually come to a realization and stop rather than reverting back to type.
Oh, that is way better. I'm sorry, that is way better.
Even Morrison admitted it was better.
Him admitting, "Oh my gosh, yes, you are right. If I wasn't so obsessed, I could have solved everything, and I didn't need to focus on you."
As opposed to saying, "You think I could?" Oh, really? I'll keep at it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That is true. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, here's what it says about the CRL Supergirl. One, she wasn't classic Zor-El, but rather a human girl named Mia, who was genetic. Okay, she was great altered by Brainiac to appear Kryptonian. Many fans disliked that she was a fake daughter of Superman and Lois rather than a true Kryptonian, making her feel temporary and unauthorized. Her backstory involved the Future Smiths. That was the stupid story arc. And she was a replacement for Linda.
Yeah, exactly. Because trust me, again, the Peter David Supergirl story, Peter David somehow made Matrix Supergirl understandable.
Although, let me put it this way. The only appearance people remember her for was during Public Enemies.
Well, yeah, but it's all I'm saying is that there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yep. Wait a minute. What is NJ asking?
Are the rich the most underrated?
Oh, Reach. I think they mean the Reach.
The most underrated alien race in DC, or the Rand, Planet of Adam Strange's.
I would say the Reach are the most inconsistent.
I like, if you're asking which ones we prefer, Rand.
Yep, but I'll say the Reach. I prefer their first appearance.
The Reach are the people of the Blue Beetle things, right?
Yes.
Okay,
and their first appearance in the main run before they got retconned multiple times.
Yeah, I see.
Yep. I prefer that where they were the type who would actually come to Earth and be like, "We bring peace, and we will be giving you all this great technology," so they could stealthily introduce nutrients into the water and everything, being very patient, so that even not for generations, it will take generations before Earth is like, "Yes, my lords, we will leave the planet."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, how many times were they retconned to insanity? Asked Tevia.
3 times, I think.
Oh God.
I think yeah, they did New 52 retcon, and then another retcon during the Keith Giffen run, and then retconned again during the last run.
Okay, that makes sense.
And none of them have come back to the greatness that was the John Rogers era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And Tevia, they were the Future Smiths. It's what they were called, the Future Smiths. As in like blacksmiths, but with the future.
Yeah. By the way, Robert, inevitably we gotta do an episode on Red and Blue. If we haven't already, I'm pretty sure we haven't already.
No, I think we did.
Oh, we may have. Okay. Cameron says,
Let me check.
Honestly, now that you brought it up, Robert, I want a Secret Invasion story, but with the Reach. That could be cool.
Yeah, but the Reach aren't shapeshifters, so it's completely different.
NJ asks, are the Reach more advanced than Kryptonians? I don't think so.
No. Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends because because Kryptonians were like ridiculous. That's why it's like so tragic that their planet blew up.
Our third episode.
Okay, just check. I knew we probably did.
Yep, it was our third. It was our third lesson. Lesson episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but and then so I was talking about Superman versus the Elite. I thought the animated movie was great. For an animated movie that's adapting a single comic book issue, I think it did pretty decent.
Oh, the Dominators!
That you could do a Secret Invasion story for.
To a degree. Again, they're not. That's the problem though. They don't have that many shape-shifting races in the DC universe. Aside, no, it's not the Dominators. It's Let me double check. What are they?
Cameron says, "Yeah, I know. I don't want it to be a copy. More so, how could the Young Justice season 2 work?
The Durlans.
Yeah, that's
the Durlans or the Martians are the 2 prominent shapeshifters.
Because weren't the Durlans like the descendants of the Martians?
No. But I can tell you, Changeling is a Durlan.
Okay, that makes sense.
At least I don't think they're related. Hold on.
But did you see that AMC is launching popcorn buckets? Those look great. I may have to get one.
Yeah, on.
But yeah, it's NJ says something tells me their Scarab technology is more impressive than things Kryptonians invented. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I think Kryptonians are still more advanced because the thing about Krypton, they're deliberately said to be the most advanced race. That's why it's so tragic that their planet blew up.
Exactly, and again, they also came up with different type of technology. Now, could they counteract the Scarabs? I don't know.
The
other thing is they blew up, and they blew up and never had a run-in with the Reach.
Yeah, so if a writer wants to do like a flashback story and do that works, but it's like I don't know yet.
Yeah, so you can't make it. You can't. It's an apples and oranges thing.
Yeah, like this way, they're both ridiculously advanced alien races. How's that?
By the way, make clear the Durlans are not related to the Martians at all.
Okay, good. I was wondering about that because there was a scene in Young Justice that kind of confused me.
Yeah, no. Hold on, I'm just checking one thing. I'm just asking which are more powerful, the Durlans or the Skrulls? The Durlans.
Mm-hmm.
And the Martians or the Skrulls?
Yeah, I mean, they technically you could do a White Martian Secret Invasion storyline, particularly if, let's say, DC hard reboots. That could be the Justice League story.
You mean then take elements from either Grant Morrison's run or the animated series?
Yes, exactly. But it's like that's the storyline that leads to the formation of the Justice League.
Yep. Here's the thing: the Super Skrull is the most formidable of the Skrulls. But even he pales compared to any of the normal Durlans or Martians.
Yeah, exactly. Suck it, Marvel.
Yep.
I had to.
Now, of course, the Skrulls are more likely to be this type of zealots and everything.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is very correct. Tevia, speaking of Superman stories turned to anime movies, that reminds me. Any Superman story that you think should be adapted into anime movie that's not
Too many!
Huh?
Too many.
War World Saga, baby. War World Saga.
Or Exile in general.
Exile, they can make an entire animated series on because it's got its own.
Yeah, just this idea about Superman flying off into space. And I still say, you know, it's still one of my favorite issues in that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, first of all, are Zarians? No, they were never advanced.
And Lobo killed them all.
Yeah, Lobo killed them all, but they were never that advanced by comparison. But anyway, as I was saying, was my favorite issue is when Mixie comes to Earth again and actually has fun with Lex. And you know what Lex inadvertently teaches Mixie? How to lie.
Ah, okay.
And that's a terrifying song. You're like, oh, crap.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one thing I liked about post-credit Mixie. One, the talking backwards was not a repeat thing.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, did that get old fast. And second, I like it that each appearance built on each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That works 100%. Yeah. So, what other like concluding questions do you guys want to ask, and then we'll wrap up? But yeah, so Our Worlds at War is freaking dope, and we'll see what we cover next week and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so let's discuss that. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Son of Superman, the Elseworld story, and how weird it was. And then NJ says that I think it was only the new 52 that shows advanced.
Barely, and not even that was in Liefeld stuff, and that was like not even.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it could have been that NJ. So but it's like that. Let me put it this way: that's not canon anymore. Let me put it to you that way.
That's not canon anymore, and even then, it was if it was the Liefeld stuff, it was done so haphazard that's like don't ever take it seriously.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, any other concluding questions, and then we'll let you guys go. In the meantime, while we wait for any concluding questions, Robert, where can we find you? What have you got coming on your channel, man?
I got my link down below. I've been doing getting back into more game streams again. I'm building up the episode into lesson 666 on PTN, where I will be going over iZombie. I gotta start planning people to what day to do that on. In terms of for Comics League, Britt and I are going to be talking about all Superman's relationship with Lori and Lana. Mm-hmm. We figured, Robert, it's like we've never talked about Lori and Lana. We're like, wait a minute here. There's two important people. Mm-hmm. But so we're going to talk about that. Amazon Answers, I'm going to be talking about which DC characters I would like Wonder Woman to cross over with more, like a team-up book or maybe something like that. And I'm going to be releasing Wonder Woman Wednesday tomorrow, where it's going to be discussing Wonder Woman versus Conan. Dope-ass story. And yeah, that's about what I got for right now. And then he says, which Gotham vigilantes are there? Like Black Lantern? Gangbuster. Yeah, exactly. Tevia says, actually, with Nightfall getting a 3-parter, what DC story do you think could work as a 3-parter? A proper Death in Return. Yeah, do like everything. Like you could do Death is the first. Well, I don't want to do another Death movie, but I know you have to do it. I'm just saying doing one that's not tied into another established. Oh, I got it. Our World's at War. Yeah, we just went over it. Yeah. Don't you do it? Ooh, that's the hard you could do. Maybe, but you'd also need to do the lead up stuff too. Oh, I got it. 3-parter. War World Saga. War World Saga, we perfect. That one you can do. And then NJ says she likes they're like Tamaranians the best. Yeah, they are dope. They are awesome. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. Doomed. Yeah, you can do. That's a 3-parter right there. The first half is the battle with Doomsday. Second half is Super Doomed. Third part is the aftermath. The Brainiac stuff. And the aftermath. Yeah, that would actually work really well. Anyway, and we will be talking about Doomed at some point on the show. So let's hop out. Stay super, everyone. Stay heroic, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.